Welcome back to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about how Shedeur Sanders handled the media yesterday on his press conference when they made reference to the comments that Dillon Gabriel said about entertainers and competitors. But we're going to unpack all that here next, here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, man, I'm here to tell you, man, Shedeur Sanders, certified A1 class personification. Way he handled the post-game, media availability yesterday, when reporters was asking him different questions. Shedeur Sanders has been saying all the right things, man. Shedeur Sanders is saying all the right things to keep his dream alive, to keep the opportunity that he is given in front of him. He says all the right things when you ask him questions. This guy's been a stand-up guy ever since he's been drafted into the NFL, doing his media availability. When they asked him questions, he just says all the right answers, man. He has all the right answers to all the questions that they asked him. He's not trying to get too high, not trying to get too low. Shedeur Sanders is riding on his God-given ability and the work that he puts in to enhance his God-given ability. Shedeur Sanders is an NFL quarterback. Shedeur Sanders has all the intangibles that you want in a quarterback. He has IQ, he has the vision, he has the smarts, he has the footwork, he has the arm talent, he has the arm strength. And I've always said, you give Shedeur Sanders an offensive line to work with and give him time, he's going to pick you apart. Shedeur Sanders throws pinpoint passes, puts the ball to where only his receivers can catch the ball. That's why over his collegiate career, his turnovers were low, his interceptions were low, because he's an accurate passer and he makes smart decisions. Also, the thing about it is he was drafted. You know, we did a show about what Eric Dickerson said. It's a lot of collusion going on in the NFL and a lot of collusion surrounded around Shedeur Sanders. Now, draft day came and we was expecting Shedeur Sanders to be a first-round pick, early second-round pick. That never happened. And a lot of people was saying that they was trying to make an example out of Shedeur from his father's namesake. You know, a lot of teams didn't want to deal with the hype and drama surrounded around him. You know, you got his brother Bucky from Well Off Media. It was all kinds of narratives out there that they just didn't want to deal with. It was talking about he didn't interview well. You know, in some of the meetings, he didn't give the correct answers. I find that hard to believe, man. There was a lot of lying going on. And Eric Dickerson, yesterday, in my yesterday's video, Eric Dickerson exposed NFL and dropped a bombshell talking about the fix was in. General managers was already contacted not to select Shedeur Sanders, to make an example out of this kid. And it's unfortunate the way things took place, that he had to set 3 days going into Sunday to wait for his name to be called with the 5th pick of the Cleveland Browns at 144, where Cleveland actually moved up to get him. And a lot of people was talking about, you know, the interview Jimmy Haslam had, you know, talking about that wasn't his call. That was general manager Andrew Berry's call, and Andrew Berry made the pick. And then we caught Andrew Berry on the hot mic after Shedeur performed in Charlotte in his first preseason debut. where he dominated. And also, Dillon Gabriel stepped on the field against the Philadelphia Eagles. And in the third quarter, he had a sideline interview. And Dillon Gabriel, a lot of people said he took a shot at Shedeur Sanders because he told the reporter, there's entertainers and competitors, and I'm a competitor. And a lot of people was like, hey, he's taking shots at Shedeur for the entertainment purposes, because you know what his ex-head coach said at Oregon when they faced Colorado. He said that we going out here to win championships. We not doing it for clicks and views. So if you just put 2 and 2 together, that correlates. And Dillon tried to walk it back, talking about he wasn't talking about Shedeur. He was talking about the media. The media is the one that's entertainers, and he's a competitor, so he has to go out there and do his job. Well, Shedeur Sanders finally fires back, and he finally answers the question about the Dillon Gabriel comments. And the reporter tried to bait him in, and Shedeur Sanders puts that reporter in check. And now he's going viral for the moment when he was responding to the reporter. But before we get off into that, we've partnered up with Underdog Fantasy, and this is a word from our sponsor. Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play fantasy sports. Let me tell you about the easiest way to get in on some WNBA and NBA action. Find your player, pick higher or lower, win you some extra cash. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry, get every pick right, and win some serious cash. Use my promo code SBD23 and receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Now that it's football time, follow Simply Ball Dropping as I share my picks. Like I said, pick your player, choose your amount, win money. Make picks, win cash. Thank you, Underdog Fantasy, for the partnership with us, and thank you for using promo code SBD23 on Underdog Fantasy. Now, guys, with that being said, let's get off into what Shedeur Sanders said at his media availability. Let's take a listen.
Say which one first, but it's a lot of things I'm playing for.
Hey, Shedeur, after that, in that preseason game last week, Dillon was interviewed, and he talked about the difference between entertainers and competitors. He called himself a competitor. Some people construed that as a shot at you. How did you take that?
Honestly, I don't even think about nothing. I don't think about anything. If it's not words or anything, at this point, it can't do anything to me. I know, the God put the ability and the power within me to not even think about nobody else's comments, not care. It is what it is. I spoke with him. He said, nah, bro, that wasn't. He said, that wasn't. He told me on the plane. He came up. He was like, nah, bro, that wasn't at you. I see how they trying to spin. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm not tripping, regardless of whatever it was. Nobody's words or anything affects me, So, yeah.
So did you believe him when he told you it wasn't on you?
Did I believe him?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're trying to start stuff now.
No.
I feel like you're trying to start stuff. I mean, he's doing his job. He's supposed to. Do I feel like he did? I don't know. And that's not on me to sit here and be like, oh, he did, he didn't. That's not going to change my life in any way.
What's it been like to work with him this camp, this preseason?
It's great competition. Every day you go out there, get a completion, and just how it is for everybody else in the room.
Now, you heard what Shedeur Sanders said, man. He handled that the way that you're supposed to handle it. So that makes me believe all this rumors and all the chatter that for draft, he couldn't conduct himself well in interviews, man. I find that hard to believe, man. That's just smoke and mirrors. That's a lot of narratives going on out there. But Shedeur Sanders actually put the media personnel in check by saying, I see you trying to start something. And the confidence that this kid is showing us each day, and he's saying the right thing. And then they asked him about the competition between him and between him and Dillon Gabriel. He said it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? Shedeur Sanders is saying all the right things because, if Shedeur Sanders starts, saying things that are out of character, the Cleveland Browns organization is going to look at that, and that's just going to give them more ammo not to play Shedeur Sanders or not give Shedeur Sanders reps or not to move him up on the depth chart. So Shedeur Sanders is treading things lightly, and he's doing it the right way because he has an opportunity, man, to be great in the NFL. And the Cleveland Browns just need to unleash him and let him do his thing. But you see what he said to the media personnel. I just feel you trying to start drama. I feel you trying to start a problem. See, you don't want no riff. And I think he handled that well. And that bodes well for Shedeur, because now your teammates look at you like, all the things that we've heard about Shedeur, man, I find it far-fetched, man. This is a great kid. He handles himself well, and there's no drama. Just like the guy, Greer, when Eric Dickerson made his statements, Greer was talking about all Shedeur fell for football reasons. There's no football reason that Shedeur Sanders should have fell that late in the draft. And then he's talking about he's the type of person that you come in, you're making loud noise. People don't want to be, don't want to be, him to be seen, don't want him to be heard. You just got to be quiet and fall back. So Greer, the comments that you made, man, your credibility is bad. But the thing about it is Shedeur Sanders did the right thing, man. But sometimes you got to check the media personnel. I know they, like Shedeur said, they only doing their job, but Shedeur Sanders didn't feed off into it. He didn't take the bait, and he handled it well. So you guys get down in the comment section. Let me know how y'all think Shedeur Sanders handled that whole media availability session when he puts the reporter in check. And he's viral right now. Shedeur Sanders is viral and he's trending. So everything Shedeur Sanders says or does, it's under a microscope now. And he's going viral and he's handling the situation well. So guys, I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on. So every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.